Hi, my name is Tony Chirac, a success coach here at the University of Toledo, and we're going to talk briefly about procrastination tips and procrastination styles. And yes, you may be asking procrastination styles. We're all guilty of them. So hopefully that makes you feel a little bit better that sometimes the reasons why you're failing to take action or maybe lacking to sticking to that plan may not necessarily be your fault. Maybe it's just really your strategies involved, right? Your game plan. So before we even get started, click the link below. You're going to see a sheet that you can view, download, and print off. It's styles of procrastination. This gets a little more detailed on the description and tips for success, and you can actually kind of pinpoint where you fall, maybe in even a couple categories as well, too. A lot of us do. But also, too, I highly advise you after viewing this, talk to your success coach so you can set up a very individualized game plan to help you succeed, right? So a couple things we're going to kind of go over here first is why you procrastinate. Think about this. 45% of our behavior is automatic, right? Kind of scary. Those are called our habits, right? So that means basically almost half of what you do each and every single day is on autopilot, right? If the good habits, great, that's awesome. If they're bad habits, then that could be a little bit of an issue. So, but I want to talk about two main parts of the brain. No test on this at all, right? But this is kind of helps you understand why. So if you play the brain's game, you have better chance of succeeding here and doing really well at this. So basal ganglia. This is kind of like the stupid repeater. This is basically, honestly, it's not very stupid. It's honestly pretty cool, but we have to be careful with it. It's a very efficient pattern repeater. So think about all the things that you do each and every day. Get up out of bed, brush your teeth, eat, write, type, walk across the street, ride a bike, things like that, right? We don't have to think about that. It's already automated in the brain. It's hardwired in there. We don't have to spend any wasted time thinking. The other part of the brain is what we really want to focus in on, and that is the prefrontal cortex. It's on the opposite side of the forehead there, and this is the part of the brain that handles short-term thinking and decision making. This can actually override the basal ganglia if we're doing it right, but we have to act quick. This is the part of the brain that initially it wants to learn a new language. It wants to get the homework done. It wants to be aggressive. It wants to break out of the comfort zone, and we really want to take advantage of that. So here we are, 6 styles of procrastination. Again, get with your coach to get more detailed on the description and tips for success that kind of work for you, because everyone is different. So we'll look at a few here. Perfectionist. You may be shaking your head thinking, yeah, that's me. Wants everything to be perfect, right? But we also have to set realistic goals before starting as well, on any project and any assignment as well. Dreamer. You may be great at planning, but the follow through aspect, not so great, right? So we want to try to accomplish something each and every day, which takes a little bit of a discipline and a little bit of, again, a game plan. Also, too, we have a few others. Worrier, what ifs, anxiousness, all that stuff kind of getting in the way. Again, sometimes you're looking at the big mountain instead of the first step or two to climb that mountain, especially with big projects. Crisis maker, you tell yourselves that you work best under pressure. Wait until the last minute. You have this adrenaline rush like, yeah, this is what I want to do. But again, plan to start assignments earlier and keeping to a deadline. Therefore, it won't seem like it's this huge mountain to climb, as I mentioned before. Couple others, defier, rebels against external deadlines and expectations. It could be a situation where you're openly rebellious, or it could be just passive aggressive. All right, a little bit of both. I think at 18, 19, I remember being that way a little bit. But take responsibility for your choices, no matter what they are. So those are some success tips as well. And also, too, the pleaser and overdoer. You have trouble saying no to others. What we want to actually help you do is learn to say no, be proactive, and don't be afraid to ask for help. That's what we're here for, right? And I'm giving you the permission. You are entitled to have some relaxation time and to unwind and things like that. So definitely say no. One thing that you can do right now, besides talk to your coach, is the 5-second rule. And I want to kind of get into this just shortly and briefly, because this is something that you can do right now. It's a process of counting backwards from 5 seconds when a decision out of your comfort zone needs to be made. Right? So think about that. To get out of bed when the alarm goes off. Maybe it's like, oh, I got to start that homework assignment. I got to start dinner. I have to go get gas. I have to walk to class. I have to do whatever I need to do, right? It's something that you don't really want to do, but you know you need to do, right? So 5 seconds, all we're going to do is count down in your brain. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Just put your body in motion is all you're going to do here, right? What this does, it tricks the prefrontal cortex before letting your basal ganglia basically take over. Because you know if you hesitate and think about it, 4 or 5 seconds later, you're going to talk yourself out of it. It goes back to the automation that we talked about. So what typically happens, again, is hesitation, overthinking means basically a mental jam or a mental jail. We don't want to have that happen to you. So the moment the hesitation happens, it's a killer. And the main reason, because it sends stress signals to your brain. And what happens when stress signals go to your brain that something's wrong? It goes back into automatic habits, goes back into protection mode. So what we're going to do here is with the 5-second rule, use it at least a few times a day to get in the habit of doing this. Use this as a starting ritual. It's going to interrupt the bad default patterns and trigger new positive patterns, right? So when we talk about breaking habits of waiting and doubting and staying silent, especially when you want to raise your hand in a meeting or ask questions in a classroom, maybe even break that insecurity as well too. What it's going to do is build a little more bravery, a little more confidence, right? A little more courage to do these things. So use the 5-second rule. In fact, you can Google the 5-second rule. You'll see a lot of information on that. So I hope that helps. Right now, what I want you to do is please, please, please check out other helpful videos on the U Toledo Center for Success Coaching channel. The time management, the stress management, study strategies, and of course, procrastination. They all go hand in hand. They really, really do, right? So remember, your success coach is available via phone, text, email, and WebEx video chat. Thanks for joining in. Have a great day.